understand what your creative process is.
Yeah. So first of all, my creative art form is living.
Wow.
It's about being alive, not just existing.
Right.
Which means that if I'm sad, I'm going to be crying for 30 minutes. Okay, I was lying 5 hours. Which means that if I'm happy, I'm going to be laughing like it's my favorite song.
Wow.
And I think that to be an artist, you have to be tapped into your emotion in a world that tempts us to numb ourselves to it and to desensitize ourselves to our pain and the pain of other people. So the first element of my creative process is noticing. It's why I love living in a city like New York, is I people watch. I sit there on the subway and I notice, how do people crease their eyes when they're smiling? What are people wearing and why? Why are people wearing all black when it's cold outside? That's so counterintuitive. Don't you want to be happy?
Yeah, I agree with that.
And so I watch, notice, and like a sponge, I'm absorbing, and that's what comes out in the work. The work is all one elaborate mirror. The work is all one elaborate portrait of what I'm painting, of what I see around me. And then when it's out into the world, like you said, it takes a life of its own.
Right.
It's no longer me.
Yeah.
It's something else. And I think that was a really important development as an artist, is because at first I had such a personal investment in everyone understanding exactly what I intended. And now I'm so less interested in being understood.
Yeah.
Because I know that of course no one's going to understand what I intended, because they're not me. They're going to have their own relationship with the work, and that says more about them than it actually does about me. And so I relieve myself of that, and I understand that each work takes on its own soul, its own spirit, and lives elsewhere.
No longer yours.
No longer.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is really central to being a public-facing artist, is that once you are no longer writing poems in the quiet intimacy of your childhood bedroom, but you have thousands, if not millions of people immersed in it, then you have to relieve yourself and say, your projection is not my reality. And that's okay. Your projection is also real. It's just not mine. There's multiple realities. Then in terms of what I'm working through right now in this very moment, is when I'm on stage, I'm not performing, I'm actually being my most true self. It often feels like when I'm not on stage is when I'm having to play pretend.
Right.
And when I'm on stage, I'm giving people the true depth of my pain, my loss, my humor. And when it's over, it's really hard to return to the world.